Welcome to Polymer Clay TV. I'm Kira.
And I'm Ilysa.
And today we're going to show you something fun. But first we want to tell you a little bit about what's been going on. As you can see, I am in my sort of new studio. It hasn't been painted yet, and it's a little dark, so I'm sorry. But it's snowing here again, and that's not supposed to happen at the end of March. So.
And it's going to be in the 30s at my house in northern Florida tonight, so go figure. I'm actually in my house too instead of my studio because I haven't been able to bring my computer back out there. It's been so cold, and I don't keep the heat on out there or my bill would be outrageous, so I'm in the house.
Yeah, so we're kind of working under funny circumstances, but we're still getting it done, so exactly. That's the important thing.
Exactly.
We had a massive ebook launch last weekend, and we thank you for coming and checking that out and supporting us. The newest ebook is called Creative Stenciling for Polymer Clay and Mixed Media Art. And we also have Crackle Techniques, the Ultimate Guide, and a 202 Tips and Tricks book, which is a compilation of all of the stuff that we know about polymer clay and a lot of the questions that we get asked over and over again. So we hope that you will check those out. You can get them on your Kindle, or you can download a PDF that you can print out and use like a magazine.
Right, and we also have our print book that's of course still available. You can get that in Amazon or on Amazon Kindle, and that's called Polymer Clay Art Jewelry. So we've been busy. We've definitely been busy, and we've got some other things planned that are going to blow your mind. I know we've been telling you about this, but soon we'll be able to really tell you about this thing that we have going on. I mean, and you guys are going to be the first to know because it's absolutely amazing. We couldn't be more excited, and it's going to really make next year really eventful for us. So we've got that in the works, and like I said, it is amazing. So today I just wanted to share with you a little bit more about that project that I did last week that I showed you, which was this mixed media project. And I talked about how, if I thought about it more, that these flowers I would have made out of polymer clay. So I just wanted to show you a quick and easy way to make your own little flowers that you could add to anything. You could add it to jewelry, you can add it to mixed media, you can make buttons out of them. Really, the sky's the limit once you know how to do them, and let me tell you, they're simple. You know, so I wanted to show you that, and so I'm going to go down to my work surface here and line it up a little. I think you can see pretty good that way. What I have here is just some conditioned clay rolled out to a flat setting, and I've got what are called Kemper cutters, and they're little plunger metal cutters that you can easily cut polymer clay with. And Kemper spelled with a K. We'll put a link. If you head over to polymerclaytv.com, we'll have a link to where you can find these. They're not something that I think that Michaels sells. Have you seen them at Michaels, Kira?
Once in a while, the craft stores will have like a couple of sets of them. I'm not sure if Michaels has those particular flowers. They might. Yeah. You can look in the clay section.
So they can be hard to find locally, so we'll give you an online source to get these. So that'll be at Polymer Clay TV. And a few of you have actually contacted us and they're like, where do I get those resin birds? You can get those at polymerclaytv.com. Click on the top menu where it says Shop and scroll all the way to the bottom. They're called resin adornments, so you can find them there. So that's that. I'm working with this month's collage sheet today. Let me show you that. Sorry for all the noise. But that's this. And there's lots of elements, and I thought, well, if I transfer these flowers and then cut out flowers, it just gives it more dimension, more color, and so that's what I'm going to do. I cut out some pieces already, and actually I have this little piece here that I'm going to use. And so just like I do normally, I would just apply it to the clay and use my finger to make sure there's no air pockets in between, and just, you know, you can cut around that piece of magic transfer paper that has the design printed on it, which I did with the laser printer, and you know, just so if you want to, you can cut it out to the actual paper, or you can leave the extra clay. It doesn't really matter. So I just put it on there, and you can use your fingers to rub it on there. And the way I like to do it is in under the faucet, but I can't really show you that. So I'm going to show you in a little bucket of water how easy it is. Just make sure it's really on there on your clay, and you can use any brand of polymer clay. Although I have to say, I was playing around with the Fimo transparent purple, and when I went to rinse it off, it came off. So it might have been just way too dry for it to, because the paper has to grab onto something. Well, it wasn't grabbing onto anything with that. So I'm using just regular Primo, and it works fantastic every time. There's my image. So what I like to do, though, when I do use the magic transfer papers, I like to run it under the faucet, use my finger to get off whatever paper I can feel, and then I like to let it dry. Okay, that way I know that if I won't rub too hard and, distort my image, because the image comes out beautifully that first time. So what I would do is let this dry, and if there's any paper on there left on, I'd come back and rub over it and get rid of it. It will all come off. So it's just you might have to, put it under the faucet a couple times to get everything off. But it's best to do it one time and not mess with it. That way you don't distort anything or ruin your image. So I'm going to be working with the one hair that I did and let dry already. And it's from the same thing, but I've done it from the same collage sheet, but I've done it on a pink color. And so you can do whatever sizes you want. I've created a little flower here that I've used this bigger Kemper cutter, and then I came back and did a smaller one and laid it on top. And I've actually made earrings this way before that were really popular and sold well. So you could actually make beads this way too. Like you could apply them on to like a lozenge-shaped kind of bead if you wanted. Okay, so anyways, I've cut this out and it's stuck in here. Normally I work on glass and I'll roll my clay and get it stuck to the glass. And a lot of times I won't even have to plunge it out. But if you do, you want to go gently because you don't want to indent it really too much, because you can get the mark of the plunger, so you have to be careful with that. And you get a beautiful flower. I mean, it's that simple. So you can clean up any edges you have. You always want to, whenever you're working with a cookie cutter or one of these plungers, clean up your edges so it doesn't look like it came out of a cookie cutter. You know what I'm saying? Because then that kind of ruins the effect. So then I have another one here. I think that's the same size. And I'm just going to kind of just push down and gently plunge it out. And if you get a little mark, that's okay, because you can use your finger. It's polymer clay. You can get the mark out. So there I have that one. And then I'm just going to lay them on top and layer them. Now you could do this with any color clay. You could do it with any design on the clay, or you could just do a solid color clay. I mean, it's totally up to you. But the difference between these plain, boring, paper flowers and a polymer clay dimensional one can make the difference on a whole piece. You see here? Let's see if I can get a good shot. It might be a little hard for you to see, but I'll take some pictures so you can see really well. I mean, I wouldn't have obviously used this color. I think I would go with blue, so that it obviously goes together. But, think about all the different ways you can use these cutters and make some fun things with it. Let me just show you one other little thing here. I'm going to just scrap this a little and show you how I would make a bead. So you would roll a ball, and these are the lozenge beads I just mentioned. You roll a ball of clay, flatten it with your finger a little, and then you could cut out. This one's going to be too big, so let me do a smaller one here. And I'm just using the Kemper cutter. You can actually clean it up a little while it's still attached to the Kemper too. I still attached to the plunger too. You can do that as well. Clean up your edges, and then you would just lay the design right on there and create a bead that way. And I'm just using a poker tool, which actually is a big needle that they made into this tool, because when it fell apart I found that out. you know, so you could make your own tools. So I go through and then I come back around on the other side, and I'm twisting as I go. And then, you know, while you have it on your needle, you can actually help to shape it the way you want it to. So there's a cute little lozenge bead with all it is one of these little plunged out designs. So think about different ways you can use your Kemper cutters. They come, I think, are there 4 sizes in each of the shapes?
Yeah, there's 4 in every package, and you can either get like 4 flowers, or you could get a variety pack, and they come in like all the same size. So you would get like a 1/2 inch flower, circle, star, and heart, or something like that.
Yeah, so they start really pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with them. I've been using these for, gosh, how many years? At least 10 years. And they last because they're made of metal. We haven't had any problems with them whatsoever. They cut out every single time I use them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been happy with them. And Kira, I know, uses them, and lots of artists use them. And so really you just want to think of all different ways you can use them and have fun with them, you know. They're easy to do and yet really cute, you know.
Yep.
And then you can add texture to them too. So you could even, I could have even taken this plain side and textured it with a rubber stamp and then cut them out, you know. So you don't have to just necessarily transfer, you know, and use them that way. You can do it with texture. You could add powder pigments. You could add ink. Anything you want. I mean, the sky's the limit. So they're a fun little tool to have in your toolbox. You know, and then of course there's always regular cookie cutters. If you wanted a big piece, you could just get a regular cookie cutter, cut it out, and have a little pendant or something like that. So I think that's about it that we've got for today. You can always come on over to our website at polymerclaytv.com, to our community at craftylink.com. Kira is going to be doing the reason for freezing. We're going to
start that back up again next week. I took a break because I moved from Texas to Maryland, and I'm here now and ready to go. So you can look for that at the end of next week.
Right, and that'll be over at craftylink.com. If you go to the homepage there at craftylink.com, on the top, there is a little link to it there, right smack in front of you in the middle column. So you shouldn't be able to miss it. Just look for it, and you'll be able to get right to that. And she's got prizes, too, to give away, so that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and you can always add us on Facebook and Pinterest. We're all over. I'm on Instagram now. Woohoo! I'm posting pictures there. I like to post like work in progress pictures and things that are going on and life out here in the country. And oh, actually, today is the deadline for Bead Dreams contest. And can I show my piece that I'm going to enter? Am I allowed to do that?
I wouldn't. I don't think you can.
Okay, so I can't show you that, but I am entering this year, and after they notify everybody, which I believe is early April, then I'll let you see it if I can. So, but, you know, this is going to come out the day after the deadline, so I will have already submitted. So I'll keep you posted on that. But that's the bead and button show that they have in June, and they have a polymer clay category. So if you don't get it in for this year, next year, think about entering, because you never know.
Yep.
You just never know. So I think that's it this week, and we will definitely be back next week, and Kira should hopefully have some stuff to show you, too, that she's been working on.
Yep. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.